Hi everyone, today I'm sharing a process video for Peartree cut files, and this is for my challenge for the June online Cybercrop, and I'm using the Take a Hike cut file. So my challenge is a sketch, which you can see at the beginning of the video, and I'm using some of the Vicky Bootin Fernwood collection for this, and this is all about us on a walk in the Lake District in the UK. So I'm just trimming down my patterned paper that I want to use, and I'm going to fold over that edge at the top. I'm distressing the edges of that patterned paper, and then at first I think I'm going to use it on some craft, but you'll see later on I decide to go with the white. So I'm just adding that to the centre, but drawing a little line where that flap is going to sit, so that I can add some mountains with Distress Oxide to my background. And I'm using, I think it's Rustic Wilderness, one of the new colours, and then Lucky Clover, just with the two different shapes of mountain stencil. I'm just building up the colour with the blending brushes and kind of doing it darker on the edge of the mountains and leaving it lighter underneath, and then it looks like they're just popping up out of that folded flap of patterned paper. So what I want to do with this cut file is I want to use the letters to create patterned paper letters. So I'm not going to back the cut file, I'm going to draw around the inner sections, cut them out, and then distress the edges of each one and add them with foam pads underneath. And you'll see I'm just showing you what I do with the letter E, and then the video will cut through to all of the letters done. So I'm using this green patterned paper for one word, and then I use a bright red colour for the take. So this is for hike, and then take will be red. So there you go, you can see my cut out letters there, and I want to add some colour to my boots that are on the cut file so that they stand out on the patterned paper. So I'm just using some distress ink for this one, just making it fairly subtle, and I'm also adding it to the A. And just to make those colours a bit bolder, I've pulled in a different colour brown. So next I'm going to start constructing this layout. I've pulled my background back in, and I'm just working out where I want to add these three photos. So I've got two that are kind of quite open, wildernessy ones, one of the horses and one of me walking, and then the other one is of my husband climbing over a stile. It was quite a steep stile, so I've made that kind of a focal photo, and I've backed it with patterned paper, and then I'm just adding it under the word take. So you'll see the E will then go over the photo, so that the cut file isn't floating in the page. I'm adding a manufacturing strip across the bottom section of my layout for it to sit on. And then I'm just going to fussy cut out this beautiful patterned journaling card. So what I've done is I've cut out the centre, which is the floral, and then I'm using the back of it as a little photo mat just for those other two photos that I've cut out. The photos aren't covered completely by the journaling card, but it doesn't matter because the bottom edge is going to be tucked under the word take. So you can see I've now added my cut file, and the letters are all popped up on foam pads, and I've just put those florals in between the photos, and I have cut the little bottom section of that floral off so that I can use it elsewhere. And now I'm just starting to add my embellishment. So I'm going through some of the stickers that I've got, that's a cut off piece from a manufacturing strip that's got the similar colour into the take word, and you will see later on a piece of washi tape does appear in the bottom left hand corner just to kind of pull in that colour as well. So because there's some horses on this layout, I decided to bring in an animal. So I've got that cute silhouette deer there that I've stamped in black. I'm just going through my collection of stamps and pulling out things that are kind of hiking, outdoorsy related. So I've got the Fernwood stamp, and also a set from Heidi Swap. So I'm going to use some of these Heidi Swap stickers and stamp them in Distress Oxide, and then use some water just to pull some of the colour off and actually colour in the background of those stamps. And then I'll leave them to one side, fussy cut, and use them as like homemade embellishments. It also pulls in the colours that are in that stenciled mountain area too. Just going to add some white highlights along the ridge of each of the mountains just to pull in a bit of a different effect. It's not overly obvious on this video, but you'll see it more in the photos at the end. Just adding a little scribbly border there, my black pen. I'm just tucking in those stamped pieces that I mentioned earlier, and then I do pull in some more of the stamps. So I'm using the word stickers from that Vicky Bootin sticker sheet that I was looking at earlier. It's from the travel collection that she did. And I am just trimming them down a little bit because they do seem to be quite wide and bigger than I want them to be, because I don't want them to take over the page. And now I'm going to add some ferns. So this is this technique is basically I'm going to stamp them but without using a stamping block. So I'm just going to use them on my hand so that you get kind of a rough stamp. I did try doing it with the stamping block, but it doesn't really work. So excuse my head getting in the way. So they're not there to be perfect stamps, but they stamp better that way. And then I'm just going through and adding some little kind of splatters of the ink with that stamp set in the different colours. And then I go back to the Heidi Swap set and add a few words in. So this layout really comes together quite quickly. I've just got to add some little bits of embellishment here and there. So I'm just adding some pearlescent pearls here and there instead of Nouveau drops. I want to bring like a brownie colour. So this is like a bronze. And then I do add in some other embellishments. So I pull out some of the Peartree bits. And I've got some of the acrylic leaves. So these are from released last year, I believe. But I absolutely love them, and they've got a real nice tone to them. Like quite with the browns, it pulls in the photos and the colours that I've used. So my layout's now complete. Thank you for joining me on YouTube today, and don't forget to check out the links below to find any of the products that I've used from Peartree Cut Files, and hit the subscribe button if you've enjoyed it. Bye for now.